So again, my name is Andy Rieger, and today we're going to be talking about RabbittApp. RabbittApp is a comprehensive agent sales platform that is being brought to you by Group Insurance. So by a comprehensive sales platform, what I mean is that RabbittApp will enable you to sell ACA plans on exchange. It will enable you to sell supplemental plans either with an ACA plan, and I'll show you how to do that in a very seamless way, or as a standalone. You can sell it by itself without an ACA plan. RabbittApp has comprehensive quoting capabilities to enable you to send quotes to your customers with either, again, ACA or supplemental plans. And RabbittApp also has an agent-focused CRM, Customer Relationship Manager, so that you can really track all of your customer data. You can email them, you can do all of those things. So let's jump right in. This is the RabbittApp main screen. I'm going to click on the agent login button here, and this is going to bring me to the login screen. You can see I've got it pre-filled with my username and password. I'm going to click the red login button, and I'll get right in. This is the RabbittApp dashboard. In our new release, this is actually going to be updated a little bit. We're going to have some training materials available on this page, but we'll keep the familiar high-level dashboard, the number of apps you've submitted, the number of apps you have in progress, the number of leads you're working. And on the left-hand side, there are a number of tabs that you can get to control various functions. Across the top, we have an FAQ, which is very detailed to help answer any of your questions. And we have a comprehensive training page that includes training videos on a wide range of topics. They tend to be very short and to the point, so you can get a video on just what you want. Each video also has an online manual that goes with it, which is very visual and step-by-step and really can walk you through. So if you like watching videos, you can do that. If you like reading a manual, you can do that. The other important thing, RabbittApp really is focused on premier level of customer service. And so if you look at this blue bar here, if you click down, our phone number is right here. And you can also live chat with our customer service agents. Once we get to open enrollment, our customer service will be open 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, open from 10 to 2 on Saturday and on Sunday, Eastern Time again. But as we get closer to that 12:15 date for 1/1 effective dates, our hours will lengthen. So the days before that will probably be open until about midnight Eastern, and on 12/15 will actually be open until the close of the Jan 1 effective dates, which is 3 a.m. Eastern. So we really are here to help you. You can ask any questions from as simple as how do I change my password, or where do I click to start a new application, to as complicated as I have 2 children who are showing up in the subsidy app, but they're going to Medicare and they're not going to the plan, and I want them on the plan. How do I do that? Our agents really are able to assist you in a wide range of issues. So let's start and get right into the meat of it, which is how do I enroll someone in an ACA plan using RabbittApp? So on the left-hand side here where you see the new app button, I'm going to enter my zip code. Now I'm going to use a Pennsylvania zip code, even though I know none of y'all are in Pennsylvania, but that's because this will go with the app that I have set up on the FFM. So I'm going to click the new app button, and you're going to see a pop-up that says, do I want to enroll someone in an ACA plan or in short-term medical or another supplemental plan? One of the reasons that we highlight the short-term medical there is because during open enrollment this year, with the increase in premiums, there's really going to be an issue for customers who don't qualify for very much subsidy. Those premiums are rising dramatically. The subsidies for people who are on the edge of the subsidy aren't going to keep up. And so short-term medical plans really are going to be a very important option for those who simply can't afford ACA insurance. RabbittApp has partnered with vendors like National General to provide supplemental plans that you can offer. And so we make it very easy to say, okay, you can't afford an ACA plan, let's look at a short-term medical plan and pair that maybe with some other supplementals to give you a good secondary option. So, but for now, we're going to choose an ACA plan and click Submit. And we're going to go right into our plan selection page. So there's a lot going on here. Across the top is this progress bar, so you can see where you are in the application. This is what's called a live progress bar, which means maybe you get a little farther down to this plan confirmation tab, say, and then you're like, oh, the customer decided they really don't want a bronze plan. Now that they think about it, they want a silver. Or you can just click right on this plan selection tab. It'll take you back to where you were. You can update the plan and you won't lose any information. We have a subsidy estimate here, but let's just start with getting into it and putting in a birth date and a gender. And as soon as I put that in, you can see the information about the ACA plans is populated. So we have the name of the plan, the metal level, the type, it's an HMO. We have the premium and the carrier here. We have the deductibles here and the copays. If you want more information about one of these plans, this more details link in the lower right-hand corner of the box. You click on it, it expands some of this copay co-insurance information. In addition, you can see links to the summary of benefits, the plan brochure, the formulary, and the network. And if I click the summary of benefits, it brings that right up, so you have this available to show to the customer. Okay. On the left-hand side here, over here, there is a kayak.com style interface where for each metal level, it displays the lowest premium at that level. So it can help you really hone in on where that customer is looking to purchase in terms of affordability. If I just want to show silver plans, I can click on silver, and I will see just those silver plans. And notice this Keystone HMO Silver has an out-of-pocket max of $68.50. So let's go in. The other thing that's important, obviously, is subsidy. So I'm going to estimate the subsidy here. I'm going to put that into the tax subsidy box and click Check Now. You're going to see that I have an estimated tax subsidy of $197. And for those of you who are savvy about how cost sharing works and things like that for these ACA plans, we also give you the information about where this customer stands with respect to the federal poverty level, and do they have cost sharing available? So are their out-of-pocket expenses and things reduced? And if you look at the silver plans now, we have crossed out, we still give you the base premium so you know what that is, but we give you the new premium with the subsidy. And this plan also reflects, because it's a silver plan, the cost sharing reduction. So you can see that that $68.50 out-of-pocket max has now become a $5,200 out-of-pocket max. So we can see that these plans now reflect this tax subsidy. Now, one thing I just do want to mention, and we'll do more in the training, is this is only an estimate. We'll get the actual subsidy from the ACA, and I'll show you where that happens. If that subsidy changes, this plan's out-of-pocket max and deductible could change as well. So you have to, we keep track of that for you, but you do have to bear that in mind, that if they say they have a $25,000 income and they get this $200 subsidy, but then ACA says they actually don't qualify for any subsidy, this is going to go back to the $68.50 that it started at. So this is just an estimate. If you want to compare some plans here, you can do that. You can select a couple of these plans and click Compare, and we're going to give you a nice comparison chart up to 4 plans where you can show them all the different features of this plan, including, again, summary benefits and other links, and you can help them decide the plan for them. So we're going to select a plan. It's going to take you to the application information page. You can see the premium, subsidy is all here. I want to highlight one other thing here, which is this enrollment fee. So RabbittApp has worked with group insurance to offer up to you, and it is optional to you, an enrollment fee capability for you to charge your customers. So with commissions being reduced every year by the carriers, it's harder and harder for agents to be paid fairly for the work that they're doing. And so what we've enabled is RabbittApp will allow you to charge at time of enrollment your applicants a one-time fee for your services, and you will set that fee. It's whatever you want. GII will probably set a suggested fee. Maybe it's $50, $75, $100. We haven't determined that, but you can override that in your profile. We can show you where that is. And so you can say, you know what, for my clients, I'm going to charge them a one-time $50 enrollment fee to help supplement the commissions that I'm getting. It is optional. You do not have to use it. It's set up for me as this user, and I can actually show you where on the payment page, you can waive it for your customers. So maybe you have a $50 fee, but if they purchase a supplemental, you waive it. So that's your option. But it is a very nice benefit that group insurance and RabbittApp have come together to offer to you. So let me put in the basic household information for this applicant, which is me. So if you copy my address down, you can come visit me the next time you're in Philadelphia. And I'll put in this information. Okay. The CMS is now, sort of at the end of last year's open enrollment, now requires that we can take some basic information, but all the primary information and the subsidy information has to be done on the FFM. So the next step is to click this Connect to FFM button. So we're going to click on that, and that's going to take us to healthcare.gov. I'm going to put in the password. There we go. Let me make sure I type that right, actually. Okay, and you'll notice this I'm not a robot. This is brand new that they put in this year. I guess they don't want anyone trying to automatically log in. So I'm going to click this. It's very strange. They have very weird questions. So now I've got to find billboards. I don't think they understand how bad my eyesight is, but we'll work on that. I don't know if that's a billboard. That's a banner, but we're going to go with it. Okay, they've decided I am not a robot, which is good. I'm going to log in, and it is going to take me to the very familiar FFM page. I'm going to search for an application because your customers at this point are mostly going to already have FFM applications, if not from this past year, then from previous years. Great place to start. You really should rarely have to do an application from scratch, although their new healthcare.gov's new applications are pretty quick and easy. I have to say they've done a good job of improving them, so it's really not that bad. I can do an application from scratch in under 5 minutes on the FFM. But I'm going to search for an application. Now, when you do this search, your clients are going to have one application or maybe two. Let's just say I have a unique account, and so I have a lot more than that. But we're going to find the right one, which is this one. And we're going to go to the eligibility page, and you'll see these are the results, and I am eligible for a plan, an SEP plan. I'm going to view these results, which is going to download my eligibility letter to my computer, and we'll use that later. And then I'm going to return to the partner website, which would be RabbittApp. And so this is going to take me back to RabbittApp. Now this is one of the pop-ups we offer to you. Because this is an SEP and because actually the way my SEP is configured, I actually qualify for a 10/1 effective date. Originally, we had asked for an 11/1. That's the default for this late in September. So RabbittApp is grabbing that 10/1 effective date, and it's putting that into the system. In addition, you can see that we had estimated my subsidy at $197, but the reality is my application on FFM does not qualify for a subsidy. So RabbittApp has picked that up and has set my subsidy back to the correct subsidy, which is 0. We've also got all the information back from healthcare.gov. If there were multiple, so I only entered my own name on this first application screen, but if I'd had family and children, etc., they would all be listed here. So you can see my name, my gender, my age. Am I eligible to enroll? Yes. Am I cost sharing eligible? No, I'm not. So that has been updated. So the next step is to upload that eligibility letter that we just grabbed from the FFM. So I'm going to do that, and we use that so that you can reference that later on in the system, and also we send it off to the customers. So really a pretty painless process through the FFM. I click next step. This is one of the key features of RabbittApp, this page. We call it plan confirmation, but the real name for it should be supplemental page. So we do show all of your estimated information here. We do show the plan that you chose, but we now have a list of supplemental plans that you can offer to your customer. So maybe you want to offer an accident fixed benefit plan, or maybe you want to offer a dental coverage, any number of plans. And Group insurance can get you some more information about all the different carriers that we have available. It's not a wide selection of carriers right now, but we do have leading carriers, and we do cover all of the basic core types of plans that you're going to want to offer. So let's say we add a dental coverage to this. If I select that dental coverage, at the top here, you'll now see there's a supplemental monthly fee of $26.50. Okay, so I'm going to choose that. I'm going to click here to continue. And this dental coverage has an extra question that you need. So notice we're never leaving RabbittApp to go to some other enrollment platform. It's all done simply within RabbittApp. So dental needs one extra question, so we ask for it right here. So is this, basically, is this coverage replacement? We're going to say no, and we're going to click next. And that's all you have to do to finish that dental application. So this is now the payment page where you would enter two things. Payment for this supplemental plan, dental coverage intermediate. In addition, payment for that $12 enrollment fee that we had configured. This is not a payment page for the ACA premiums. Those still have to be done on healthcare.gov, and I can show you how you would do that. This is a live system with live credit cards only required, so I'm not going to enter this here. So let's show you how nice this live progress bar is. I'm going to click on the plan confirmation page. It's going to take me back to supplemental. I'm going to deselect this dental plan. Maybe they said, you know what, it's a little too expensive. I don't think I want to buy it today. And then I'm going to click here to continue. It's going to take me back to this page. I'd still ask for payment because I still have this $12 enrollment fee, but like I said before, we can waive that fee. So maybe this person's, not doing so well this year, their income's down, and you don't want to charge them the fee for whatever reason. Maybe it's your brother. So you're going to uncheck this enrollment fee, and the payment page goes away, and it takes you right to the summary. So you do have a lot of flexibility in how you work with RabbittApp, both with supplemental and with that optional one-time payment for agent services. This is the summary of coverage page. So it tells what the medical plan covered is. This is the carrier. This is the plan name. This is the person covered. We have the premiums, and we have the effective date. If you did select the supplemental, you actually have the supplemental here as well, and all of that information. So if I click submit, it's going to, actually I will click submit and just see what happens here. This is production, so probably shouldn't be adding more health insurance to my life, but hey, who doesn't need another health insurance plan? So it says, thank you, your application has been submitted, and we're done. We've now submitted an ACA application, and if we had included a supplemental plan, we would also have submitted a supplemental application. So on RabbittApp, not only do you not have to go to any other enrollment platform to submit the supplementals, make it very quick and very easy to add on appropriate supplementals for your customers, but in addition, we never require extra steps. So we've worked with our vendors so that there's no wet signature pages or recordings of approvals or anything like that. Our carriers know that you as an agent working with RabbittApp are a trusted partner, and that you've verified that people are who they say they are and that they've agreed to those checkboxes. And so it's a very streamlined process selling supplementals on RabbittApp. So to get back to the RabbittApp screen, I can click on the Rabbit here. I can click on my name. It doesn't really matter. It's going to take me back to the dashboard. Before I do that, I'm going to just show you one thing here because this is a good feature of RabbittApp. So I just need to change the screen sharing. One moment. Okay, so this is my email, and you will see that I just got an email from Andy Rieger, the agent, and it said I have an enrollment summary for me as a customer. And if I click on that, you'll see that I have a nice email saying that I've been submitted for the marketplace. I have a big bold, you need to pay your premium in case they don't do it with you at the time, information about the effective date in the plan, information about the premium. If there were supplemental plans, that would be in this email as well. I have the eligibility letter attached so the customer knows their whole eligibility, including any documentation that's required. I have a link to the summary of benefits so the customer can see that as well. And I also have the agent's name, phone number, and email address. So if the customer wants to reach out to you with any questions, they have it right here. This came from Andy at RabbittApp.com, which is the agent name at RabbittApp, because that's how we get through some of the spam filters. But if they replied, it would go right to your business email address. It would not go to RabbittApp. So we find that to be a very good feature because it helps complete the sale and really improve the communication between you and your customers. Okay, so I'm going to stop here for a moment because I've gone through a lot with this enrollment. And just if you have a question, please feel free to ask it on the questions tab, and I'll be happy to answer it now, specifically about AC enrollments, adding supplementals to the enrollment, and how that process works. I'll just give it 1 second and then we'll move on. All right, I will keep an eye out for the questions. So if you have any, please feel free to add them in. So the next thing is that is the process of just, someone who walks up to you or someone calls you on the phone and says, sign me up. But what sometimes happens is someone calls you and says, could you please send me a quote for a couple of different options for ACA plans or for supplemental plans so I can see what my options are. So I'm going to show you how we do quoting in RabbittApp. So let's look at this application we just did first. Here's the Applications tab. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to take me to the Applications tab. And just so you can see that we finished it, here these are done by most recent. So here's me, Andy Rieger, who just bought the Keystone Health Plan. The status is completed. If I click on it, I can see some lightweight information about this person. I can see their eligibility letter. I can connect to the FFM. So people sometimes ask, how do I take payment and deal with documents? When the application is completed, you can then go back and connect to the FFM. If I click this button, it's going to bring up a window, which it's hard doing this with. Let me make sure you can see this. There we go. It's going to bring up this healthcare.gov pop-up window. You can log back in, go back into the application, and you'll be able to make payment and add any documents. All right, so let me go back here. It looks like someone has a question. Let me just see real quick. Okay. Does RabbittApp show the address where plan payments are sent? We do not have that information for all the carriers, so we don't. It might make sense to do it for some of the bigger carriers if we can get it. It's not easily found by us, but they will get, typically in addition to our email, they will get information from the carrier. I think though that primarily the customers are supposed to make their payments through healthcare.gov if at all possible. So that's really what they should be doing. And an ideal space, again, you want to get them signed up and paid. So an ideal flow is enroll them through RabbittApp, come back to this screen, click on the Connect to FFM button, go right back into their app, and there's a Pay My Premium button right there once the app is completed through RabbittApp, and you can take their payment right while they're sitting in front of you or while they're on the phone, and that is a much better process because then you know that that first month's premium is paid. Next question is, how does my client get billed for the enrollment fee? It's a great question because I didn't finish the enrollments. So the enrollment fee on that payment page, if you do choose to pay it, they'll put in their credit card information right there, both for the enrollment fee and for any supplementals. RabbittApp will charge their credit card for the enrollment fee, and it will show up as ACA enrollment fee on their credit card, so it'll be very clear. And then RabbittApp will remit that payment minus a very small transaction fee just to essentially pay for the credit card fees to GII, and then GII will pass that payment on to you. So we do it all through the general agent. This was done in partnership with GII, and so it will come in, I assume, and Eric will be able to answer that, it'll come through with your commission checks. Okay, those are both great questions, so feel free to ask any additional ones. So as I said, finalizing the application connected to the FFM is how you take payment and how you upload documents if they are in front of you. In addition, while I'm here, you can see up to the right there's a detailed applicant info button. I mentioned previously that we have a CRM, Customer Relationship Manager, tailored for agents. So if I click on this detailed applicants button, it's going to take me to this My Clients tab for this application. And here's where all the information is stored. So the name, the social security number, the phone number, status, all the information that you took in is stored here. In addition, the plan information that you, for the plan you just sold is here, including links to the summary benefits, the networks, the eligibility letter, etc. You can also connect to FFM from here if you need to do any maintenance on the plan. Down the road, so maybe you're focused and you're working hard for open enrollment, getting these ACA plans in, but maybe you want to do a campaign in April where you go back and try and sell life insurance to all of them. You can add a plan here, and if you click the Add Plan button, it'll let you select who you want to add this plan for. So there's only one person on this account, me, but if there was me, my spouse, and my kids, maybe you want to sell life to me, and so you just want to do a supplemental life plan, but maybe you do a different campaign where you try and sell dental to the kids for your customers who have children. There's a lot of different options you can do, but this becomes, RabbittApp becomes the central place where you can track all of your information and all of the plans you've sold for your customers, and you can sell different plans to your customers at different times of the year, so they really are completely covered. All right. So let me just see, I think there's another question. The question is, what is the payment process used if client does not have a credit card? We also allow bank draft for payments as well. So you can do either credit card or ACH payments. We do not allow anything else. Okay, good question. So let's go back to the dashboard here. And then let's talk a little bit about how to send a quote to your customer. So the scenario I'm going to use for this is a customer calls in on the phone, you talk about ACA plans, turns out they don't have a very good subsidy, and so you suggest that they buy a short-term medical plan. They don't really sure what that is, so they say, you know what, send me a quote with some different short-term medical options. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the Leads tab, because these people are a lead, they just called in. And here in the Leads tab, we have all the leads, and you can sort by name or whatever you want. You can sort by the different statuses of the leads. You can export them. If you have leads currently in a spreadsheet or whatever, you can import them in, and we'll be happy to help you with that. But right now, we're just going to add a fresh new lead. So I click the Add Lead button, and I'm going to put Jane Doe here, and I'm going to give her a date of birth here. And I'll give her a zip code here. Choose a state, and I'm going to give her an email address so I can email her a quote. Okay, and I'm going to save this lead. All right, and you're going to see Jane Doe, because she's most recent, is the lead right up here on top. And you see this send quote column. It's all grayed out because we haven't sent her a quote. I'm going to click on the send quote, and it's going to say, what kind of quote do you want to send her? And I'm going to say I want to send her a short-term medical or supplemental quote. And it's going to take me into quote mode. So quote mode is where I can quote different products to Jane. So I'm going to say, you know what, we said we're going to send her a short-term medical. Compass 360 through National General is the short-term medical product that we're currently offering. We may be adding other ones down the road, but this product is unique because not only is it a standard short-term medical, which can be done up to a maximum of 11 months, but it also includes accident, medical expense, critical illness, and accidental death, and it includes an AD&D up to 100,000. All integrated into one product. So that does a couple things. For the customer, it means that in addition to their short-term medical, they have good coverage for the gaps in terms of deductibles and those things. And they also have the AME and the critical illness there as well. And for you, the agent, it means that you have a much improved commission on these kinds of products, because it's not just a standard short-term medical, it's all a number of products built into one single package. And we found that this is an extremely popular short-term medical package because it really satisfies the needs of customers who were not able to take a major medical plan. So and we have this in 3 different deductible levels, 1,000, 2,500, and 5,000, and we have 50%, 100, 80%, and 100% co-insurance. So if you take like a 5,000 80%, and you then add on it a accident, medical expense, and critical illness of $10,000, you've now essentially, most hospital bills are because of an accident anyway or a critical illness, and so this $10,000 will cover that $5,000 premium plus give them a little bit of extra money towards their expenses. So it's a really, this level, especially the 5,000 level, is very affordable, and it's a great product for your potential customers who can't do ACA. We also have here, these are simplified issue products, and you'll see the knockout questions right on RabbittApp. If they fail a knockout question, we also have guaranteed issue options available as well. So let's quote a couple of these Compass 360 short-term medical plans off to the customer here, so you can see which ones I've selected. I'm going to click continue up here at the top, and then I can add on a secondary plan. So maybe I want to, they didn't really ask for it, but maybe we want to see if they want a dental plan to go with it. So we're going to select this dental plan, and we'll go back up to the top here, and we will click continue. And this is what the quote looks like. Here's the 3 plans right here that we're offering, plus this dental coverage. Here's the total monthly payments. Okay. If you want more information, this more details button on the left here, if you click on it, it's going to give you lots of information about these plans, including brochures about all the plans, but we're going to hide it for now to make it prettier. And I'm going to send them the quote. Click the send quote. This is a customizable email, so I can say from Joe Agent, I can say, you know, as discussed on the phone, and I just click send. And it's going to take me back to the leads tab because that's what I was doing. You'll see here's Jane, and now this lead is green. Now, let's say you send the lead, it's busy open enrollment, and 4 days later, Jane calls you back and says, let's talk about this short-term medical lead. You're probably not going to remember it. You can just go right back in, find Jane Doe in your leads tab, click the green button, and instead of doing a new quote, you're going to view that current quote, click submit, and it's going to bring you right up to the quote you just sent Jane, so you can discuss the details and determine which product you want to purchase, and then you can continue on and enroll her right from here. All right, so let me look at Jane's point of view. What happened here? So I'm going to log out. There's the refresh. That was weird. I'm going to log out so that I'm no longer an agent, and I'm going to log in as Jane here. And Jane, me, just got this health insurance quote. And so here's the quote that she received. I'm going to click for the quote.
Andy, show that page.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I always forget that this doesn't. All right, let me go back. Sorry. Here is the email that we received. If I click on the email, this is what Jane got, and if I click for quote, it's going to take Jane right to this quote page. You can see that at the top of the quote page, all the agent information is here. So if they want to reach out to you, the agent, they can. And here are the products that are available. If they decide they don't want the dental plan, they can actually remove it right there and it goes off, or they can add it back, their choice. So let's say they decided to decline the dental coverage, and they're going to choose this 5,080% that you said was really the best plan, and they're going to select plan. Well, on the ACA, they can't complete an enrollment without you because of that FFM requires your login, but on supplemental they can. So they can just go right through here. It's got all the information from the lead that you added. We never added an address here, and then they can answer the question. So this question, this short-term medical requires a beneficiary because the accidental death has a beneficiary. So we'll put Bob Doe, her husband, here, and then the knockout questions: are you a citizen? Yes. Do you have all these unfortunate conditions? No. Okay. And then I'll choose the policy length. And as I said, we never require wet signatures from the customers for these products. So you can verify that they agree to sign. If they're over the phone, you can say where it was signed at. You can put your signature and you click continue, or if they do it themselves through the quote, they can do that. Here's where they would make payment and agree to the payments. I'm not going to finish the payment because this is a live system. And then they'll be able to enroll right from here without you having to actually finish it at all. If they choose to do it over the phone, you can enroll it for them. It's really your choice. So let me go back to RabbittApp here. Any questions about quoting? It's a very flexible quoting feature, and it's extremely useful on the supplemental because they can actually complete their enrollment right from the quote without any additional work from you. One other thing I'd like to show you briefly, it sort of goes with quoting, is you might want to have an enrollment link or a quoting link for your customers that you can put up on your website as a marketing landing page. RabbittApp gives you two options. We give you, in this marketing tab, we give you one link customized for you that you can use for ACA, and one link that you can use for standalone. So if we use this ACA link here, it's going to look exactly like the enrollment, this main page, but then they can go in and enter their zip code and enroll it right there. Again, if they are on your web page using your marketing link and they are enrolling for an ACA plan, then they'll only get to the first applicant information page. They can choose a plan, they can do the applicant information, that's all stored in RabbittApp, but the next step will be a page that says, thank you, your agent will contact you. You'll get an email letting you know, and then you'll have to finish it because again, you have to log into the FFM as you, the agent. Okay. So one thing to point out is a good note from group insurance that for the supplemental or for any of the, whether it's short-term medical, which is I think really critical in this open enrollment given the premiums, or the other supplementals, the dental, life, there's a number of different options. You do need to be appointed, so you need to reach out to group insurance and make sure that you're appointed properly and set up to sell those during open enrollment. Okay, I think this pretty much covers everything. We've covered how to enroll. We've covered how to create leads and send quotes. We've viewed the marketing link that shows you how to create your own standalone marketing page for you. We have a lot of agents who use that. We did highlight in the My Clients, this is your CRM, and so you can get information about all your applicants. So if I want to look at this is probably a lot of me, but let's go Jane. Is she not here yet? Let's go here. Let's go to me. If you look at this, you can see again information about the applicant and all their information here. You can also email applicants from here if you want to. In addition to the plan information, I don't know if this one has a plan, you also have a contact history. So if you want to, you can see the email that went out during the enrollment, but you can also send an email from here. That brings up a little full-featured email client that you can send from. You can also, if you want to track the calls you've made to them, you really can use this as a complete CRM to track all of your communications. In addition, there's a Documents tab. It ends up with your eligibility notice that was downloaded, but if you want to keep track of their W-2s or their immigration documents or their passports, whatever you need to answer ACA questions, you can upload them here and keep track of them here as well. So it does become your center for all the information about your customers. I think we've pretty much covered anything. I'd like to open it up for questions at this point to see if you have anything else you'd like to have covered. Let's see, I have a couple questions here. Question is, does the short-term medical cover the tax coverage requirement? I assume that means the penalty. The answer is no. Short-term medical does not replace the penalty. However, there's a couple of things there. One is that typically, even if you had to pay the penalty plus the much lower premiums for short-term medical would still be cheaper than an ACA plan. But the reality is there's an 8% affordability rule, which means that you have to have a plan available that is affordable, meaning it costs less than 8% of your annual income. And that rule is often fails to be covered for people who need to buy the short-term medical because the plans are too expensive. So if you're in the situation where because of the subsidies you can't afford the ACA plan, then typically those plans actually are also not affordable under the rules of healthcare ACA, and so you're not actually going to have that penalty anyway. So what we found in these sales is for the most part, those penalties don't apply, even though the short-term coverage would not be credible coverage in terms of satisfying that requirement. Okay, and that is about it. Any other questions? I'll open it up. Okay, here's one other question. If a client turns 65 during the middle of the year, will ACA plans terminate coverage? I'll have to actually look into that and get back to you. I don't know that specific ACA rule. Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for your time today. I really appreciate your taking the time to come and see RabbittApp. I think group insurance has worked really hard with RabbittApp over the years since open enrollment to produce an even better product this year that really satisfies a lot of the needs of open enrollment, especially with the enrollment fee option. And I think it's going to be a fantastic platform to help you get through a very successful and profitable open enrollment. So thank you very much. Have a good day. And if you have any questions, please follow up with group insurance, especially on the appointment for the supplemental plans. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.